be patient with myself a little bit more. I never knew what I wanted to grow up and be and do. And I had dreams, but they weren't real dreams. Like, I didn't have a passion for anything. So I kind of went through life at that age like, I'm good. There's nothing I want, nothing I really want to accomplish. And as you go through life with really no dreams, you kind of just are passing in the wind. And so while I was being patient with myself to not ask for anything, myself now wish I had a drive for something at a younger age to focus on and really strive for. Because I think I was probably too patient with myself to not dare to do anything. I think I was just like, oh, I'll keep my feet on the ground and not fly. Mm-hmm. And so with that, I've learned now I should have taken more risk younger. Even if it didn't work, just to say I tried that or I gave that a shot.
Welcome to Season 2 of the Amani Experience Podcast. In this podcast, you will experience wisdom, advice, and stories from creatives all over the world. Your host is the award-winning Amani Roberts, who is a DJ, music producer, professor, voracious book reader, and skilled chef. On the show, we love to share the stories of creative professionals, especially people who have gone from the corporate life to the creative life. Once again, welcome to Season 2 of the Amani Experience Podcast.
Welcome to episode 87 of the Amani Experience Podcast. For this show, we have Sam Thompson with us. Had a great conversation with Sam. We go way back. I've known him over 10 years. Three of my favorite things about our discussion is just how Sam talks about how he wishes he would have taken risks sooner. I can totally relate to that, so I thought that was just awesome that he shared that. He also spoke and was very honest and vulnerable about having more confidence currently and in the past to allow him to do more things. And then I really enjoyed how he talked about his company right now has a spirit of collaboration. I think that's the way to go now in the business world. So I appreciate that. I think you're really going to enjoy the episode. If you want to reach me, email me, podcast@amaniexperience.com. You can also donate to our Patreon, which is like a virtual tip jar for our podcast. Help us keep it going. And that's at patreon.com/AmaniExperience. All the links are in the show notes. And I appreciate you listening. Thank you very much for all the support as we get closer to episode 100, which is crazy. Anyways, it's time for the show. Thanks again. And to the show we go. Our guest today is an experienced meeting planner with a demonstrated history of working in the hospitality industry. He's also the co-founder of Sync Meeting Management. I would like to welcome Sam Thompson to the Amani Experience Podcast.
What's going on, Amani? Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How is it going?
It's going well, man. God is good. I'm growing, learning, and staying humble, sir. It's been an amazing ride thus far.
We always do a geographical check-in when we talk. So right now we are in the Riviera Hotel in Palm Springs, which is where you reside.
Yes, sir.
Tell the listeners, where did you grow up?
I grew up in the East Bay, Northern California. I grew up on both sides of the tracks, but I grew up in a little city called Hayward, California. We call it Haystack.
All right, so you're from the Bay Area.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about, once you finished high school, where did your journey take you?
Man, I was looking to go out of state. I was looking at attending Morehouse University. I was looking at going to the big ATL, and then life would have it, I was walking to a Marriott hotel and got a little job that summer. Really, I think it was that spring. I started in March of 98.
Okay.
And fell in love with the people, the industry, and never left the state. And stayed in the Bay Area working for Marriott Hotels.
Okay. So you came up Marriott Hotels. That's kind of, I first met Sam. I was thinking about this today. It was when Salesforce 1 rolled out, 2010. We were at the Newport Beach Marriott for orientation. That's the first time I saw you. And the irony of it is that you don't see too many African-American men in sales for Marriott. So I was like, oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
So it's been 9 years. Talk to us about all the different jobs you had with Marriott.
Man, Marriott was a great foundation for my journey in my young man days. I started at the front desk and then moved down to downtown San Francisco, became a front desk clerk there, Started in Burlingame. Let me back up a little bit. Started in Burlingame Marriott, airport property. Transferred down to San Francisco Marquis Marriott. Went into supervisory role, rooms controller, all that good stuff. All you front desk people out there, shout out to you. You know what I'm speaking of. Then went into the catering side of the business with Marriott. Became a catering coordinator. I don't think I've worked that hard ever since. That job was no joke. Dealing with all the affiliates and main group. And then I was approached by Human Resources to go into a supervisory or a mentor program to go into sales. And I declined it like 3 times. Like, I don't know what y'all trying to do. You're trying to set me up. They're trying to get me. I don't know. But ended up going into a program where I traveled around all the Bay Area, working out of Residence Inns, full service properties, select service we call it today, and learning all the different sales roles in Marriott, and went into a EBC role for your old school event booking centers before the new big offices opened up years later, but went into that EBC role and sold for like 40 hotels in Santa Clara.
So you're in the EBC roles, you're doing that. If you think back to your time with Marriott, what was your favorite role?
That's easy, sales.
All right.
The EBC days, man, we had a lot of fun. We hang out after work, we go bowling. It was a real family culture environment. That was probably my number one job, but at the beginning, front desk was where it was at too. Yeah. Just to check people in and out. You were the hub of the hotel. You met everyone coming in, going out. I mean, we would hang out even on our off days together with my front desk peeps back in Burlingame days and our downtown San Francisco days. So between the two, sales gave you that quality of life with the weekends off, but front desk, man, was a lot of fun. We had control over your destiny, what room you got, what room you didn't get, and we knew what was going on around the entire property because front desk was everything.
Yeah. We have similar paths. Like our careers took very similar turns. I started front desk, a bellman clerk in D.C., so we're on the opposite coast.
I remember you from D.C., that's right.
Yeah, D.C. area. So, and I'm curious, what was it that kind of inspired you to say, okay, I've been with Marriott. How long were you with Marriott?
17 years.
17 years. That's a long time. That's, that's half some people's life. You were with Marriott for 17 years. I was with them pretty much 20 years. Yeah. What inspired you to say, you know what, it's time for me to step aside, retire, and pursue my own thing?
It was a tough call. I always knew I wanted to do more, and Marriott always awarded us to do different things. You can move around. You can literally move, or you can move around one hotel, and they had a lot of different positions as the company kept evolving. You had options, but I always wanted to do more than what my title allowed me to do. I wanted to get in the thick of things. So back when we realigned the sales teams in 2010, I thought about, okay, I don't want to just have an account list. I want to be able to work with anyone that wants to work with me and vice versa. I've always been a relationship kind of guy and a lifer, I call it. I'm a lifer. It's hard to get rid of me. And so I always thought bigger than the current position I was in. So I started thinking about that back in 2010. Okay, after this, what's next? What's next? And so as I moved around and moved up, I always thought about what's my exit plan. So social media helped me do that, actually. When LinkedIn came out, I started connecting with people all across the world where, you couldn't necessarily do that on Facebook because it was more personal.
Right.
You couldn't really do that. Instagram wasn't out yet. Twitter wasn't out yet. So I took that LinkedIn platform and started connecting with people that was professionals everywhere and just started building my contact list, knowing one day I'm probably going to be doing something else. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay. Walk us through that day. And if you feel like you can share what you had to tell your wife and your family, like, okay, I'm leaving the mothership.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a much smaller boat. And this boat is going to take us to where we're going to go for the future. What was that day like?
For those that don't know, I'm a man of faith. So I prayed for a year prior to me taking a leap of faith to do my own thing and build my own enterprise, that I wanted a quality of life a little bit more balanced. Marriott always awarded us positions to do so in my sales role, but I was traveling still a lot. And I wanted to do more of my thing. But back to that question, the day you seen Rocky movies, right?
Yeah.
You remember when Rocky's about to fight Apollo Creed, about to fight Ivan Drago.
Okay, yeah.
She's not with it. She's not with it.
Yes, Adrian is not with it.
Yeah, she's not with it. But if you remember, I think it was the episode before that when he was going to fight Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere with it. He wasn't really motivated to fight dude.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't ready. And when she told him when, he was like, he was like fueled to go run, jump, train, do everything Mickey wanted him to do. My wife told me, go do it. She said, you've been talking about it since 2010.
Yes.
That's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
So when I told her I was leaving, she was gung-ho. She was ready for it. She knew I would be successful in doing it because she knows I've been talking about it for so long. So that gave me all the fuel and my fire to go do it no matter what happens. I'm at least do it. Yeah. And if I fall on my face, at least I tried it.
Amen. Yeah.
So,
what year was that you went out in?
2015.
2015. So it took you 5 years of thinking about it, planning, getting the courage to do it, and then you finally did it. Now we're 4 years later, still going strong, thriving. You learn a lot of lessons, which we'll discuss.
Yes,
but
yeah. Humble pie, man.
I trust me. Yes, definitely humble pie. So here we are, 2019. Mm-hmm. How would you summarize Sam Thompson in 30 seconds or less, based on where you are right now?
Man, I'm a humble guy. I'm grateful for everything that comes my way, even the bitter and the sweet, because there's always a lesson in it that helps me grow. So I'm grateful for every blessing. I'm genuine about my approach, and I try to just remain humble with all the accolades or compliments that I may get from people cheering me on and cheering on our company. I just eat my humble pie every day for breakfast, keep my feet on the ground. Sometimes I come across as meek, but it's just because I'm just grateful. I'm not weak. I just don't want to get a big head about anything because it comes and goes in life. Storms come, so I try to just remain humble with my approach in life in all areas.
Don't confuse my niceness for weakness, shall we say.
Exactly. You said it best. That's me in a nutshell.
There you go. In your opinion, what is important for creative professionals such as yourself and myself to succeed in today's business environment?
Well, buyers are savvier than ever. There's a lot of access to a lot of things. You can fact check a lot of things. You can compare costs, options. We like options, as we have a running joke with our company with my co-founder Matt Diamond. But I would say be authentic and just and establish what your brand is. Tell your story. There's plenty of money to be made out there. It's not really competition to me. It's just be who you are, your story, your journey. You're going to connect with so many people. I think we think because of our different backgrounds and where we all come from that we don't have anything in common, but we have more in common than people realize.
True.
So when you get out there and you're sitting across tables with people and you're breaking bread, you realize, oh, I like that too, or I didn't understand that either. So I just think be authentic in yourself, in your walk, and just be and establish your brand. Tell your story.
Yeah. And just so the listeners know, explain to them what business that you are in. Like, what's the business? What do you do on a daily basis?
Well, we cash in our chips from the hotel side, and we decided to be crazy and be in one of the most stressful jobs that you can be in America. But we're a full-service event planning company. We do everything soup to nuts, beginning to end. We are here to help our clients source, contract, negotiate all their deals, or provide the logistics and the heavy lifting on the event side, on-site or off-site. We really enjoy the event side of our business because it gives us a seat at the table. We get to be collaborative with our clients. We get to know what they're doing internally, how their organizations are being run. And you learn a lot from that side than just taking rates, dates, and space and sending it out through a platform to find that data out. So we enjoy the full scale. We've always envisioned us running a full scale organization. That's what we're doing, and I can't believe it's working.
It is working. I can believe it.
So
yeah,
it's a dream come true for sure.
Well done. 4 years in, keep moving. Love it.
Yes, sir.
We think back to your career, long storied career with Marriott, lots of achievements, promotions, awards. Then you're 4 years into your own business. If you want to pick one turning point, what comes to mind?
taking one of my first leap of faith and moving my family from Oakland, California to Palm Springs.
Ah, okay.
I had 3 children at the time. My son was 8, my daughter was 4, and my baby was like 3 months. And my wife had just got laid off from a company she worked with. She was in software sales, and she got laid off. And they got acquired by another bigger company, and we were like, what do we do? How are we going to survive the Bay Area on one salary, let alone a third baby? And all of a sudden this job opens up at JW Marriott Desert Springs in Palm Desert, and I apply, I get a call back, then I'm flying down here on an interview like a week later, and it was to leave everyone we know. Both of our families live in the Bay Area. My wife's family is a big family in the Bay Area, so we took that leap of faith, and we put my career first and moved down here, and it's been the best move we've ever made.
Yeah, because you've been in Palm Springs now for how long?
12 years.
12 years. Didn't really think you would be here this long, and look at you, 12 years and still going strong.
The game plan was to come out for 2, get experience, and move back. And,
Wow.
and now, as you can tell, we never left. We're still here.
Well done. Tell us, why do you love what you do?
I love what I do because it's not about me. It's awesome to be part of great organizations and see how they function and help them with an expertise that I fell into. Most people in hospitality fell into hospitality. It wasn't a dream job, but you fall in love with the people, and it's all about the people. And so when we work with certain different organizations, we're excited that they trust our expertise or lean on us to help them with attrition situations or planning, or just plain simply help them with the things they just don't know how to do because something was thrown on their desk. So it's been fun to just not make it about us and collaborate with some great people that love this industry and do great things in this industry.
I want to go back to something you mentioned about how it's not really about competition. I know growing up, you were into sports, playing sports, following your sports teams. I'm the same way, was the same way. But once you start your own business, it's different in terms of competition. It's more collaboration.
Yes.
How did you come to that kind of realization?
Well, Amani, you sat on the other side of the fence too. So when we're doing that job at the hotel side and you just want to get a call back,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm just trying to get an update to help your client have a great conference, or you're paid to do this job and you just they think you have another motive or something.
Right.
I don't know what, it gets weird sometimes out there in the world. Everyone's protective of their job, but we felt on our end we just wanted to work with them and allow everyone to do what they're paid to do.
Right.
So we didn't look at it as competition. We looked at it truly as collaboration. So we work with other third parties.
Okay.
Who would think that? A third party work with another third party. We've done that. We've done calls with other third parties. We've done calls with hotel chains to show how we support and believe in that property or that hotel company because of what they're doing for you as a client. So we've eliminated all the red tape. We don't care about that. We don't care about who calls who. We want you to have access to our clients. So we tell you, we encourage you, please call them so they know why we sourced you.
Right.
So they know why we think their event will be a perfect fit at your property or your brand if it aligns right. So we equip everyone to just do what they're supposed to do.
Lovely. Lovely. Mm-hmm. What is something that scares you?
Man, personally, I would have to say watch my kids grow so dang fast. I mean, if you can think back to when you were in elementary school, imagine seeing your kids at just snap of a finger. Like my baby's about to be 12 in April, and it's just like when we moved here, she couldn't even walk or crawl or nothing, and now I look at my life and how fast it's going. That's what scares me. But I'm embracing it as well, but it's a little scary to me.
Yeah.
That's probably my number one fear.
Okay. Now, the event planning industry, which you're in, being a third party, is extremely crowded, both, in California, nationally, internationally. Mm-hmm. How do you rise above all the noise and distinguish yourself from the competition?
I love this question. I'm going to reiterate a little bit what I just shared because this is truly who we are. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to rise above anybody or any other company. We truly embedded ourselves right in the middle of it. So when we launch, we're like, hey, let's work with this hotel chain. Let's work with all of them. Let's do calls together. Let's collaborate with other third parties that need event management services if they don't have it. We've been called to help in those other areas as well, that our expertise. So we look at not standing above it, we look at standing right in the middle of it. We want to help everyone. Our main motto and our tagline is bringing planners and partners together. Okay. We can't pick and choose who that is. We're supposed to help everybody is what our motto was. And so if we're working with the DMC, we're not looking to make money off the top. No, just price it so the client can have a great decor and all that stuff that they need that costs money on the bottom line. Make sure all those prices come through clean, and that way they can afford to do it and have a successful event. So we're right in the thick of it. We're right in the middle of it. No need to stand out. We stand with.
Hey, don't need to stand out, stand with. Like that. That's a good clip there. Well done.
I have to copyright that.
Yes. How has a failure or an apparent failure set you up for later success? Do you have a favorite failure of yours?
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of humble pie on this journey. I think most third parties can relate to this. When you reach out to a client and you have an understanding that you're going to source a program and help them with their bidding process, and then you find out they're in bed with a couple other third parties and they're sourcing 3 or 4 or 5 times. And so with other third parties thinking they have the relationship as well. So we've taken the high road in those scenarios and just said, look, you better off working with those other 3 or 4. And we don't want to muddy the waters. We want to dilute your value and your company name by being involved. We do want an exclusive opportunity to show value, but we also don't want to waste the supplier's time bidding and responding multiple times.
Right.
So we take a back seat to that, and that's one of our number one failures launching. We were gung-ho to just source anything, excited about the business, excited about the opportunity, and we didn't really fact check who they were partnering with before, or necessarily if they still aren't partnering with them. So that was one of our number one failures, is not to build a relationship if they already have one established. We want to wait till either that relationship dissolves itself or you want to move on and try something new. And that was one of our first year learnings, to not be so quick to source something without doing that fact checking.
Okay. Now that you're in year 4, you've had some success, you've got some clients, you've gotten some, nice press. That also means you acquire more critics, or haters as we call them. So how do you handle the critics?
I think we're our worst critics, Amani. I honestly do. We have blinders on. Not that we can't see what humble pie or constructive criticism can teach us, but so far we value what our clients' feedback is and how we're helping them. And if there's ways or things we may have missed, we look for that, the critics that come from our clients, not from anyone outside of what we're trying to do and build, because I don't think they're really paying attention to what we're doing anyways. Everyone has so much on their plate in their own walk and career and life, personal, professional. So for us, we look for feedback from our clients and measure how we're doing. And so far, we're doing pretty good.
How did you get to that point where, how do you handle it? Because we are our worst own critics. So how do you manage that so you don't end up going down that rabbit hole and not being able to climb out of it?
Well, I told you at the beginning of this podcast, I'm a man of faith. So I have many mornings, evenings, afternoons, prayer. Prayer is my foundation, because when I don't get the call back, or we're bidding on the program and we're waiting for the update, and we're trying to stay positive in what we're doing and building, and it doesn't go as quickly as you want it, my faith has been my foundation to keep my head straight, to know it's all in His timing, not mine, and my Lord and Savior's timing and His blessings, not my own. And so He's been right 1,000% of the time on how we've grown, and the timing of it. So it's to keep your inner peace, know that you're building something good with good intentions. That's helped us just weather the storms. It hasn't been easy. I will not pretend to tell you it's been easy. It has not. But that's what's kept my head straight, is my faith.
Right. I'm going to ask this question a little later in a different way, but I want to ask it to you now in this way. if we rewinded 4 years from now, now 4 years in the past,
Yeah.
and you were able to give yourself some advice now that you're just starting your business based on what you know now, just for the 4 years, what are maybe the top 2 or 3 nuggets you would share with yourself?
Wow. That's a loaded question, Amani. You're going to get me in trouble.
Just answer it as best you can without using any names.
No, I'm a risk taker, and I don't regret the faith and the leap of faith we took as a team to launch Sync Meeting Management. I think we need to do more homework internally on what accounts realistic return on investment would be and the timing of all of it. But again, you launch any startup, you go in with great ambition, great ideas, and you just hope it sticks. But be more realistic on the return on that, because we actually had major success our first year, but it was spread over many years. And as you know, and for those out there that are sourcing and contracting, you don't get paid till it actualizes. And so you book something 2020, back in 2015, you got to wait for that check. 5 years. So, just understanding that truthfully and being prepared for that. And I know we were, but there's always more things we could have done on the front end. And then we took some risk with giving people opportunities, and I don't regret that, but being smart about who we give those opportunities to, because there's things out there that are considered time wasters, and you don't want to waste your time if those aren't serious about it. But no regrets. It's always gotten us moving forward, which is a good story, and I'm better for it.
Yeah, great answer. Tell us about the darkest time in your life, how you got through that, and what did you learn from that experience?
Darkest time. Wow. I think, I know, I mentioned this to people that are very close to me. I think 2012 was like a dark year for me. I think as men, and as men that are providing for their families, wife and kids, or just kids or whatever, or just a wife, it don't matter. As men, we have pride. We want to take care of ourselves, run a business, or do what you're supposed to do in that job and be successful. And I was learning a hard lesson in 2012. I was trying to do it all myself. I thought I was strong enough to do it all on my own and run myself into the ground. And I was exhausted that year, personally and professionally, just exhausted. And I think that was a year I rededicated my faith in my walk with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I have no shame saying that. And started to rebuild my walk and giving more things to Him in prayer and following His word. That was my darkest probably year I had, because I just ran out of steam.
For people who might be going through something similar right now, what would maybe be 1 or 2 warning signs that were present that you might not have seen until too late, so to speak?
It's pretty much in your face. If nothing's going right, you gotta humble yourself.
Right.
We can't all do it on our own. You're gonna need some people that are gonna help support. It's okay to ask for help. I wasn't asking for help. I was trying to do it all myself. So if you seem like just the weight is just too much, that's a warning sign. You probably need to take a breath, slow down a little bit, and don't try to do so much. You might be supporting your family and maybe extended family. You might be pouring too much into your profession and then your personal life is affected, or vice versa. I mean, there's so many ways you can feel overwhelmed. So if you're tired, take a break. It's okay to not go to something and just sit and breathe and just reflect on what you want in your life. And I think for me, I'm always going to talk about my faith in my walk, because it's how I become and evolve to who I am today through my walk with the Lord. So I would encourage people to just breathe a little bit and slow down. And if you had a past relationship with the Lord, get back to that. If you never had a relationship with God, check it out.
Right.
He's awesome. He's better than what I ever envisioned. I always tell the story with people that know me close. I wanted to get into leadership with Marriott.
Yeah.
And then I was praying for that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, how about you be a leader in your own company?
Yes.
Hallelujah. So I wasn't even thinking I would have that. And so that's how my faith has played out in my life. And whether it comes or goes, I'm in good space with him. It's all about my relationship. So it's okay to take a step back and breathe and take it easy on yourself. You're doing the best you can do at that time. And even if you're not, it's okay, too, to just exhale and reflect and give yourself a break. It's a lot to do as men to try to champion so many different things.
Yeah, remind me of one of my favorite African proverbs. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking as you're sharing your story.
Thank you. That's encouraging.
Yeah, definitely. Who is the most influential person for you growing up?
Mama Queen Thompson. Mama Bear Queen Thompson. Shout out to Mom. She just got out of a back surgery, and she's one tough cookie, man. This woman, let me just tell you a little bit about her real briefly. She's the type of woman, man, when my parents divorced, she didn't even take them for alimony. Like, she was like, I got this. And she did exactly what she did. She took care of me and my brother, moved us to Hayward from the Oakland Hills. I mean, we were like the Huxtables back in the day. You know, we lived in the Oakland Hills. The parents were married, thriving. Money wasn't an issue. And then divorce happens, and so many of us go through life, as we call it. And she moved us to Hayward, man, and she worked for a company called Pacific Bell, working 6-7 days a week, man, and took care of me and my brother, man, on a single income, paid her own mortgage, paid her all her own bills, and she's still with me at 70 years old. So my mom is instrumental in who I am today. I don't know anyone that's worked harder. I don't know any man that's worked harder. She just got it done, and I don't know how she did it. As a father and a husband now, I don't know how she did it on one income the way she did it.
Yeah.
She's amazing. So shout out to your mama. You love you dearly. That's my source of strength besides the Lord. She's really amazing woman.
Yeah. Respect to moms. Props.
Yeah.
What do you find easy to do that your friends find hard to do?
I'm in love with people, so it's easy for me to connect with all walks of life, no matter what background, race, wherever you come from, all walks of life. I can hang with anybody, man. I love people, so it's easy for me to network and connect with people in a genuine way. I can weed out the ones. I see people for who they are. I have that gift. And so I'm either going to tell you something encouraging because I see something good about to happen for you, and I'm also encouraging people that are going through tough times. I just love connecting with people, and the realness of it, not the surface stuff that we do. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. I like to get my hands dirty, get in the middle of your stuff, and but for some reason, I don't always push that. People gravitate towards me to open up in that way. So I don't turn a blind eye to it. I embrace that.
Definitely.
And I think that's one thing I do really well if I compare it to my friends. That's why I have the friends I do have because of that openness.
Yeah. I have been a witness to this, so this isn't a fact. I assure the listeners this is a fact. What would you like to be better at?
I've learned not to pray for patience because then you have to wait. So I won't do that to myself anymore. But I will say better at my own confidence. Okay. I'm confident, but I question. I'm very analytical. And I've always talked myself out of things more than I've talked myself into things. And I think we all probably suffer from that a little bit. So just to be confident and be more daring, trusting God's with me wherever I go. I do pray through things and before I do them now. But my former life, my past life, I'm not going to do that. I analyze it, break it down, dissect it, then I don't do it. Yeah. Because I poke holes in the theory. And I've been approached with many things, and I talk myself out of it all the time. So I want to be more, and it's probably served me well, but it's also probably missed some blessings because of it. I missed some things. So I want to be less analytical and take that leap of faith a little bit more. I think there's more things I can do in this life before the sands of time run out.
Yeah. If you could pick maybe one thing that you've kind of done to work on your confidence or improve it, anything come to mind?
I'll say when I've been approached with some things, not be so analytical.
All right, yeah. Simple enough.
I say yes more now than I say no.
Good.
Because I feel like now the Spirit is moving me towards something. And, you've always heard that story, like, I sent you a raft, I sent you a boat, I sent you a log, and you passed it all up, and then you died and drowned in a river. He kept sending me things, and you didn't take advantage of it. I feel like now I'm taking advantage of it.
Good.
Whatever he's sending me, the people at that timing of it, I'm like, oh, this is different.
Right,
this is interesting.
right.
And it wasn't anything I did special, just because now I'm open and aware to what's being sent my way.
Yeah.
Whether it's people, whether it's an opportunity to help them. It's not always about my benefit. If it's something to encourage someone else to do, I'm open to all that stuff.
Yeah. So now I'll go back and ask you this question. I love to ask this question, both when I'm teaching my students and when I'm interviewing people.
Okay.
If you could sit down with 21-year-old Sam, when you were 21, you were in the Bay Area, correct? Working at Marriott, front desk?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, front desk. Okay. We're going to go back there.
Oof.
Talk to 21-year-old Sam. What advice would you give him based on what you know now?
We can be here all night, Amani, man. Why you ask me that question?
Give us like the top two or three pieces of advice you would give him.
That is, man, that's a loaded question. Matter of fact, I asked myself that last year. I'm going off schedule a little bit here, off cue a little bit. I did a picture of myself as a young toddler, and
Okay.
I did a mural of myself today.
Okay.
And I asked myself that same question in the picture. What would I tell my younger self? So many things.
All right.
Professor X. I want to call you Professor X, man. Mr. DJ here, man. This is a true Hollywood story right now. We just got real. I would tell myself to be patient with myself a little bit more. I never knew what I wanted to grow up and be and do. And I had dreams, but they weren't real dreams. Like, I didn't have a passion for anything. So I kind of went through life at that age like, I'm good. There's nothing I want, nothing I really want to accomplish. And as you go through life with really no dreams, you kind of just are passing in the wind. And so while I was being patient with myself to not ask for anything, myself now wish I had a drive for something at a younger age to focus on and really strive for. Because I think I was probably too patient with myself to not dare to do anything. I think I was just like, I'll keep my feet on the ground and not fly.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, I've learned now I should have taken more risk younger. Even if it didn't work, just to say I tried that or I gave that a shot. I remember you approached me years ago with that Rodan and Fields thing. And now it's like 10 years later, it's like everybody's on Rodan and Fields. Like, see, that's what I'm talking about. The real example of me sell cosmetics, I'm not sure, I don't know. I just dissected it and threw it in the trash. And so I was a little too patient with myself, even though I think that's a good thing, not to be so hard on myself, but I didn't have drive for anything.
Right, yeah.
And so my younger self, I wish I had more balls to just go for something.
Understood.
You
That's
know,
a very honest answer. I appreciate that. We can still talk about Rodan Fields too. There's still opportunity.
I know there is. I got some friends out there that are still calling me.
Yeah.
And hey, they're doing their thing. The great company, great direct marketing firm. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of people that are looking at new ways to provide and
earn money,
do something they're passionate about.
Yeah. Preach. Yeah, definitely. What is the one lesson, and you might have already shared this, but I'd love to ask this question in this form as well. What is the one lesson in life that took you the longest to learn?
I think I wrote that down. I've been asked that before.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, I did talk about this earlier. And I'm sorry, I'm having a serious moment here. I would say you don't have to do it all.
Okay, yeah.
Align yourselves with smarter people than you. We've all heard these cliches before, but I thought I had to do it all myself and figure it out. And the main reason why is I saw my mom do it all herself.
Yeah.
Single mom, solving all the problems, scraped knee, suspended from school. Mom did it all, right? So when I come along and I got a family, I'm thinking I have to do it all. And I got a wife that's here to help. She's a helpmate. And I'm trying to solve it all and do it all and financially, everything. And so that man pride to provide. And that was my biggest lesson. It took me the longest time to understand, like, I don't have to carry it all, don't have to do it all. We're here to do this together. And so life is sweeter now that I know I have help.
Good. Yeah.
And friends that, they'll pray over me or pray for me. All kinds of different support groups I'm aligned with now. And so I've enjoyed that journey and learning.
We're going to come back to that suspended from school story for part 2. So we're not going to get to that one in this episode. We're going to come back to that one for part 2.
Hey, I'm still standing, baby.
Yes, sir. Every great person has a sentence. What is your sentence? For example, my sentence is, I love to help people unlock their creativity by teaching them how to DJ. What is your sentence?
You know what? I've always been that one team, one dream guy. I got a little quote statement, in and out, done. That's always been my mantra is, let's all do it together. I've had fun doing it collaboratively with people that are like-minded and those that help me grow and evolve. I've always liked that mantra, one team, one dream.
I love it too. Well done. Now, what is one new habit that you've added to your daily routine in the past year or so that has been most beneficial?
To stay grounded and checking in on everyone else. I think when we're working, you're solving the riddles of the day and you're conquering the challenges in your business and you're running your organizations and you're doing that job. And we're all problem solvers at work. You forget there's other people out there, and this company with Sync has allowed us to stay grounded. So I get to check on and see what Amani's doing and listen to his podcast. I get a chance to see what some of my clients are doing personally in their lives. If they went to Joshua Tree, or they're going on a hike to Alaska. I mean, and cheer them on. One thing I can constantly continue to do is check in and see how everyone else is living. It's not all about me. So if I get to see you doing something fun, you're going to Hawaii with your family, hey, you guys have a good time, enjoy that luau. Yeah. I think it's important to not be so self-consumed. See what everyone else is doing and how they're living and check up on them. And if they're going through some things, you learn, too, how you maybe be able to help them and support them, encourage them. I mean, we're getting at the age where we're losing mothers and fathers and we're losing relatives and friends. And so to check up on everyone around me and see how they're doing, I take pride in that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes,
I appreciate that. Thank you. We're really big readers on the show, voracious readers on the Amani Experience podcast. We love to talk about books. So if there is 1, 2, or 3 books you feel people should stop what they're doing right now and start to read them immediately, what books would you recommend?
Well, this is great question. I would say 2 books I'm reading right now.
Talk to us.
Sidney Poitier, Measure of a Man.
All right.
It's an autobiography of his journey from before his humble roots to Oscar winner.
Yes.
I think it's a great book because it shows, you can come from anywhere in life and rise.
Yes, sir.
Against and breaking barriers, which is inspirational for all of us, especially in today's climate. And then my second book, which is I'm on chapter 9 of No More Excuses by Tony Evans.
All right.
That book is, when we take the Bible, and people sometimes figure or think you can't apply it to what's going on in today's world. Well, he writes a book that puts scripture right in the middle of the worldly examples of what we're going through as men and how to be kingdom men. And so that book has helped me align myself with God's word as well as apply it to what we're dealing with in today's world, in today's climate. So those are 2 books you got to just go out there and get for you men out there. Talk to the men, the real men.
Great recommendations. We'll add it all to the show notes.
Yes, sir.
Let's see here. Tell the people how they can find you online. What is all your social media? Where you hang out online?
We're on the moon. We're on the stars. We'll be on Mars soon. Our social media presence is, we have enough. There's enough out there, as you all know. I mean, we're 3-4 different outlets, but we're on Instagram under Sync MM.
Got it.
Sync Media Management. Look for the logo. We're on LinkedIn.
Got it.
Big presence on LinkedIn. And then we're also on Facebook.
Cool.
We're sneaky on Snapchat. So you will see us on Snapchat, but we're not really posting anything.
Okay.
Haven't mastered that yet.
Yeah.
And then we're on Twitter. We
Good.
tweet when it's relevant.
Good.
We're more or less cheering others on our Twitter page. So we're everywhere most people are. We're not hard to find. I promise you that. We
Yes.
make sure we cheer on our suppliers. We cheer on our clients. Again, it's not about us. So when we're on social media, we're mostly thanking our CVB reps, our suppliers on property, our GSOs that stay in touch and really care about the business we're bringing to their hotel chain. So we put everyone else out there on that goes viral.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
Good.
what we are.
Now, you're a Giants fan, San Francisco Giants fan. We're going to walk out to AT&T Park, right? It's AT&T Park, and
Yes,
Sam
sir.
Thompson is coming to bat.
All right.
What song is playing as you walk up to get this hit?
If I'm gonna get a double, I'm gonna go for a double. I
Okay.
don't have the power to hit a home run, but I'm gonna go for the double in the corner. I'm gonna say Young Jock. It's going down.
Yeah. Final question. I just want to say thank you very much. I know we've been trying to get this on the schedule for a while, so I appreciate
amazing.
your patience, your persistence. I mean, we've got very similar journeys, so I appreciate the courage you took to take the leap, and then the excellent work ethic you're showing now to keep with the grind, because it is a grind, as
Yes,
you know.
it is.
And so, I just love, as you love to cheer people on, I love to watch you make and do well and get
Thank you.
different accolades. So keep going, because what you're doing is inspiring to me. So
Awesome, man.
I just want to share that with you. And then we let our guests leave the show with any last-minute words of wisdom or advice. So I'm going to say thank you again and allow you to take us home.
Well, Amani, again, thank you. It's amazing to see how life has evolved all of us on this journey. I'm grateful for every single day I wake up. And so it's exciting to see how you reinvented yourself since our Marriott days. Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it
Who
that
would've?
we'd be sitting in this suite at the Riviera talking about our businesses, our passion, our journey, our walk. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. DJ. Hey, Mr. DJ.
Yes, sir.
You can get it started. You've been getting it started for a long time. I appreciate your encouragement. You showed me if Amani can do it, and so many people have left that corporate job, and you're like, wow, there's life after.
Mm-hmm.
We think the world's flat and we're gonna fall off the cliff, and you're like, no, he's still standing. I call you Professor X because now you taking these mutants and you teaching them, you training, you're a professor now, man. So who would have?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
That when we take a little daring leap, how far we can go. And so you've encouraged me that I could do the same. And so I can't shine your shoes yet. I can't wear your shoes. I can only shine them is what I meant to say. But the encouraging thing I can share with everyone is my number one thing to do is take the risk. Go for it. Just go for it. Move away. Do whatever it takes to expand and challenge yourselves to get out of that box thinking and color outside the lines a little bit. You will not regret it. That challenge and that uncomfortable feeling is going to push you into new heights. And so, there's a quote I always use: great things never came from comfort zones. If you're comfortable, you just sitting pat, you lay back, wheels up, legs up, smoking a cigar maybe. But that being uncomfortable will push you to new heights. So excited for you and whatever you're going to do next. I mean, you have truly grown a brand. You've established a brand. And so I'm looking to do the same for 3, 4, 5 years from now. I want to continue to do this and break bread with the best. So appreciate it, Monty.
You're welcome.
It's a blessing to be on your cast here.
It's a blessing to have you. You are on your way. Thank you.
Thank you, boss.
Thank you for listening to the Amani Experience podcast. You can check out the show notes on amaniexperience.com/podcast. Feel free to email us at podcast@amaniexperience.com. please remember to leave us a review on the platform you are listening on and share this podcast with anyone you feel would benefit from listening. See you soon on our next episode.